Like not a deal in sight. And I am an optimistic buy anything idiot. So I will make I have like beer goggles on when I shop for houses.
Freckle Beard with $25. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's, fellas. What do I look for in a home inspector? Where do I begin? What questions do I ask? We are hoping to buy when we find something right, but I want to find the perfect psycho inspector.
You want that? You want like haircut guy. You want guy that doesn't look like me or Chris.
Yeah. Clean.
You want like polo shirt, psychopath. Should have been a lawyer, but he was too stupid. But now he's got a little power. Okay. And now he's going to be a nightmare. They need to understand. I think the most important thing to understand is like attic and moisture and foundation cracks. Your biggest problems that you're not going to see, I think, are foundation issues, like mispowered houses, like underpowered or overpowered, foundation, underlying foundation and exterior drain issues, like water mitigation. Those are some unknowns. Moisture and cold air entering. Honestly, it's one of the dead tells is always like the vans. I know it sounds stupid. But the best way to go about it is honestly get a good realtor. Say, I want a psycho. You should say that to your realtor. Say, I want an absolute lunatic. Also, assume a little bit of responsibility in yourself. Become really good at looking at houses. You know what I mean? Like the stuff you're looking at, when you want something weird and quirky, you have to sort of assume that it is going to be fucked up. So you can't be like a big fucking queen when it is fucked up. Because there's nothing worse than that. Yeah. Some of the I hear younger people talk about it. They're like, oh, it was all fucked up. Like you're looking at houses that are 40 years old. Yeah. Like they're gonna be fucked up. Yeah. It was a bad time in building. But then they act like they sort of like victimize the reality of it. Like, oh, it was all fucked up and the seller was trying to get all the money. Yeah. Like you can't be that.
You buy what you buy.
Yeah. You're looking at an old thing. You want like weird rooms and 1960s aesthetic. Yeah. It's gonna come with some fucking hair on it. Yeah. You know what I mean? When you're I know. When you're taking a shower with an 80-year-old lady and you think she looks ugly because of
and then you smell something you've never smelled ever in your entire life.
You have to assume you have to take agency over that.
Yeah. It is what it is.
So like a little bit of that. Obviously, if you want a psycho and you don't know what you're looking at, but those guys are really for the houses around the 80s and 90s that are being represented like they're perfectly good homes. To kind of those guys will really tear it apart. The houses from the 60s, 70s, and certain time periods. It's kind of like up to you to like know what, you know what I mean? There were eras in building that were just better. The lumber was better. The quality of the builders were better. Your average labor force was a little smarter. It went a little slower. It wasn't such like a capitalistic society. So things were just built with a better hand. That being said, if you do want like a psycho, he's got to look like a high school principal, in my opinion. The guys that I know that are like side part, haircut, polo tucked in, phones, the wrenches on the head. What is that thing? The multi-tool. What?
I was gonna say a caliper, but that doesn't.
No. Just certain identifying violations and things that are just gonna be faulty. The mechanical and the state of the mechanical and shit like that. Just you can tell a house that was just generally neglected. Yeah. It's not like a rocket science, but. A little bit of both, but that's the short answer.
JL with $25. Nick, a couple weeks ago, you showed a map of the U.S. with cities that you said people should rent in versus buy for the next few years. Can you please give more info/resources on this issue or places to research more? Love from Minnesota.
Rent versus buy in the next few years. First part.
You showed a map with cities that you said people should rent in versus buy in the next few years. Like buy here, don't rent. But
yeah,
rent here, don't buy. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't really know if I describe it like that. Anytime I'm gonna say like if you move to my thought is always if you move to a major metro and it's the first time you're there, do not buy there right off the rip. Do not house hunt in a new city. Rent for a little while. Specifically, in the Northeast. In the Northeast up here, to buy up here, it's under. Like you're better off renting around here in the immediate. And then if you go into the woods and you say, oh, I can live out not in Providence, I can live in West Warwick.
Lincoln Plantations, Maine.
Yeah, you could buy there, but but that's after you realize you were renting in Portland.
That's a town with like 40. I was looking at Zillow before the stream for my own pleasure, and I was looking in Maine, the like northwest Maine, like no man's land.
Oh, it's way out there.
Yeah.
But mainly my rule of thumb is going to be if the city's too expensive right now and you have to live there for work, you got to rent there and don't even try to buy. Seattle, Pacific Northwest right now, the prices are just out of control. There's almost like a spillover from Canada. California, like that. I wouldn't be buying up there. Las Vegas, Arizona, all the southern cities that are just overpriced, I'd be renting. I wouldn't be sinking my teeth in any of these. In the South, those are the areas that are going to get bought out with hedge fund money. They're actively getting bought by, the companies that I'm talking about. I don't need to keep talking about them. They play that game in the South where it's chartable and trackable. Texas and stuff like that. I'd be renting in the upcoming, finding out, making sure I like the upcoming town that has something for you. That's kind of just the rule of thumb that I would go with. Not for everybody, but people are always like, oh, wait, like, how do you know if you like it? What if you move to an area and it sucks?
Oh.
Like, what if I bought, I should have bought in Venice Beach. No, I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
I would have been upside down.
Yeah.
I couldn't have sustained that, you had a TV show. Yeah, cool. I made $90,000 a year. How much is your rent? $4,000 a month.
That's half your...
Yeah, I wouldn't have made it. I would have, okay, cool. I'll never have a car, and I'll never be able to go on vacation. I'm living for my rat hole house.
JC with $25. Hey, guys, bought 11 acres in New Hampshire in 2019 for $70,000. Sold it this year for $155,000. Thinking about a house next, but waiting until spring as I've seen price cuts / inventory increases. Does this make any sense?
He bought land?
He bought 11 acres in New Hampshire in 19.
Yeah.
For $70,000 and doubled it and sold it.
Nice. Yeah. I would wait. I think New Hampshire's coming down a little bit. Yeah. New Hampshire and Maine are particularly nuts. Here's what's going to happen. In my opinion, this is not financial advice, whatever. In New England, I think the big job loss is going to be like mid-level sales that are making kind of silly money, pharmaceutical sales, healthcare work. They're going to sort of squeeze like always, just kind of compress a little bit, shed 1,000 jobs here or there at a large. I mean, we have a lot of jobs up in New England. The first thing to go is going to be the New Hampshire and the Maine and the Cape Cod house. It's just my opinion. The prices that I saw in real life up there shopping for a vacation home for myself, way too expensive. Like not a deal in sight. And I am an optimistic buy anything idiot. So I will make I have like beer goggles on when I shop for houses. If I want something real bad and I'm like, I think we should get this. Thank God I didn't, because I'd never be able to get away to it. But the prices that I saw were so far out of whack. Like it was crazy. I looked at 50 houses. Not one of them made sense. On the stream, I kind of like showed you some of the shit I looked at. I found one decent deal and it was like $589. It was a rat. And I'm like, why? Thank God I didn't buy it. I mean, but the first thing to go is going to be the vacation houses. It takes a little while to kick out, but yeah, people just go on vacations less. And, they bought it when times are good and they can still get rid of it right now because it's still kind of hot. And people aren't that stupid, man.
Yeah.